Hello and welcome to week 2 of AC 1520, Managerial Accounting and Decision Making. My contact information is down here with the name, the email address, and the phone number. We also have an online meeting on Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. These are office hours. They're not required, but if you choose to go there, we can talk over some material at that time. Phone number is here. That will be a conference call phone number, so we can talk on the same line, as well as the URL address, which will be an online conference URL address where you can share my screen and your screen if we so choose at that time. So I'm going to go over to the gradebook over here on the left hand side, this green icon. Remember that although we're doing much of the information in Connect, which is up here, we will then be putting the grades into this gradebook once a week. So you're going to want to go in here and make sure that everything is in here, because this will be the final place where you're going to see things, and this will be the grades that will push out and be finalized for the class. So the grades should be in here by Tuesday following the close of the week. So the week closes on Sunday. By the end of Tuesday, we should have this information in there. Therefore, Wednesday morning is when you really want to go in here and check the prior week for sure and just double check that everything has been transferred as you think appropriate to the gradebook. And if there's anything that has not been transferred or has not been completed at that time, then we should be working on late work. Of course, you don't have to wait till it gets transferred over here to start working on late work, but you can start working on late work and make sure that it's in here. So anything that's not full credits, you want to go in here and start working on late work. The exception to that is usually the quizzes. Quizzes are generally going to be due and no late work possible unless there's an unusual circumstance, in which case you have to tell me what that is, and I will take that on a case-by-case basis as to whether more time will be allotted. The assignments and the homework, we generally do allow for late work on those, so you could lose points for late work, but you do want to be able to turn those in. So if you have anything other than full credit on these, you could go in there and redo them again, and I will update the grade the following grading period, which will be the end of the next Tuesday following the Sunday of the close of the week. So keep that in mind. Go back in here and make sure to pick up any late work that you can do. We're going to go back up to the cookie trail up top and scroll down to the current week we are in, which is week 2. And in week 2, we have of course, our objectives, our topics, our lesson. We'll be going over chapters 21 and 22. You have your learning material here. If you want to watch these videos on those chapters, you can do so. We have the discussion forum. Remember that the discussion forum is worth 21% of the grade. So my approach to this class would be to pick up all of the points on the discussion forum posts, because you want to get 100% of those 21% in case we do not do as well as we hope on the quizzes. So the approach to the class, in my opinion, make full credit on the discussion forum post by over posting if at all possible, then pick up as many points on the assignments and homework as possible because we have the most control over those, and then do as well as we can on the quiz with the knowledge that we have full credit on the discussion forums and as much of the points as possible on the assignments and the homework to pick us up if we need to do so. So in order to get full credit on the discussion forum, the minimum is 4 posts. I would post more like 7 or 8 posts just to make sure to get full credit. I'm going to obviously give a lot more information that you can post to, so go in there and answer any type of question that is in there. It doesn't matter if I asked it to you or someone else, or if someone else asked a question, or if you have a comment on someone else's question, go in there and put information in there. Just make sure it is relevant to the topic, and then that's a legitimate post if so. If you do reference anywhere else, just go ahead and make sure to copy the reference and tell us where that source is coming from in that way as well. The assignments will be in Connect, so we have the assignments will be this one, and if you go up to Connect here, then they will be in week 2, and those ones will be completed within Connect. Those are going to be the longer assignments. Remember to look at the paperclip here. You don't have to turn in the work in the paperclip. Will be an Excel sheet, but the paperclip Excel sheet will help you to work the problem, and so it'll give you a lot of information that will help you to navigate through this longer problem. So make sure to take advantage of that. Open the paperclip, watch the videos on that. Watch the videos that's very similar to this problem. You will have to take that information and transpose it into Connect, which I think is a good exercise to do as well. But just take advantage of that resource in order to do that, to work those longer problems. If you do that, you should get a lot of the points just by, transferring similar information from here to here. Going to go back to Moodle Rooms, and that's going to be these two. And then, of course, the homeworks are going to be the SimNets, which we should be getting used to at this point. So where the SimNets are here, going to work through those in a similar fashion, work through the book. Once you have completed these, you might want to go back and do them again and keep working them, because these are good practice for the quizzes, which are in a multiple choice type of format. So these are good practice areas in order to practice for the quiz, whereas these are good practice areas to practice kind of more for real life, where you have a longer problem with too much information. And these are practice for something like a test, which tests your knowledge, but aren't really as much in real life, where you have too little information and you're trying to piece together too little information. Usually you have too much information in real life, and you're trying to weed out the information you don't need a lot of times. But we're going to go back up here. Then you're going to have the quiz. Remember that the quiz is going to be due on Sunday, so make sure to take the quiz by Sunday. And if you run into a time constraint, take the quiz anyways. Do not get a 0 on the quiz. Take the quiz, and then go back and complete the assignments as late work if you run into a time constraint, with the knowledge that that will back you up on the next week. So that's a last resort if you have to do that. But you would rather get some points on the quiz than 0 points on the quiz, even if not prepared, and then be able to pick up late work on the assignments and the homework at a later time if that's what had to be done. So in any case, that's it for the week 2. So have a great week 2.